Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another reading, guys. I am here hanging with the saucy beaver and her baby, Maggie Lee, this little saucy beast. Alright guys, I'm going to start this reading off by thanking Kieran and the rest of you who have been so extremely supportive of me in the comments, those of you who know me. I want to thank you guys. Kieran, thank you for sending me that beautiful email and a personally recorded reading for me. I've never had anybody do that before, and so you know who you are. I just want to thank you so much, okay? I won't apologize for being sensitive, guys. Those of you who, you want to throw your shots at me about what happened in the community feed, I absolutely don't apologize for it. And I think this was a good lesson to many of you out there who, you have a way about talking to people, okay? And one day you're going to talk to the wrong person like that and you're going to get it, okay? I don't tolerate people coming at me and talking to me any which way they like. Okay, I could never imagine myself going to a reader that I enjoy their readings, I have respect for them, I appreciate what they do, and then go towards them and tell them something like, I really like your readings, but this really annoys me. Can you change it? Like, never in a million years. My mom taught me better than that. My mom taught me how to have respect for people. My dad told me how to pay attention to people's cues and just how to treat people with respect, right? There's a million different ways that person could have left that message, okay? And hey, maybe it's just a lesson in the collective right now. And I'm feeling it even strongly for the feminine collective because there's this energy of you guys not taking any bullshit from your masculines. And I feel like this is coming for a lot of your masculines. And I feel the energy of them being very nervous, very nervous around your energy because many of them know that you're in a place where you're just not taking shit anymore. You're not allowing people to be fake nice, okay? Including your divine masculines as well. You're not allowing them to come in and out of your life. Many of you are starting to recognize the cycles of your masculines, they know what to say. Some of them could be like a smooth talker. Many of you fall back easily into those cycles. Without really putting a lot of thought into it. This reading is going to be about having backbone, okay? So it's going to be for when your masculines come in. What'll happen is there will be so much buried in the separation, and a lot of you are afraid to bring it up. A lot of you are afraid to ask questions. A lot of you are afraid to be straight shooters with your divine masculine because you're maybe afraid that they will ghost, they'll go silent, they'll block you because they can't deal, right? So, are you snuggling up against the microphone? Huh? I feel like a lot of them are picking up on this energy that is really, it's really stirring up inside of you. So if many of you have been getting a lot of fake phone calls, text messages, especially from random numbers, right? And it only ever happens when you and your masculine go into separation. That's them testing the waters. They want to test out your mood, right? So some of you might be you guys might know for a fact that it's your divine masculines, but instead of ignoring the call or not giving in to texting the number back or replying to that fake ass email, many of you need to be reserved and trust your intuition and be don't even fuck with me right now, bro. You know what you need to do. Don't fuck with me in this way. Don't try to come at me sideways, right? Because I know what's popping, right? And I think that's why I got so irritated in the comment section and I put that person on blast because it's don't try to come at me with your niceness and then tell me I annoy you. I see right through that bullshit, bro. And for those of you who feel I'm overly sensitive and defensive, you know what? If that's the way you guys roll and you allow people to roll all over you and shit, that's fine. That's fine. It's probably what's happening in your connection with your masculines too, right? You guys are afraid to be too sensitive. You're afraid to say, hey, listen, I'm intuitive and I can pick up on your bullshit and I'm going to call you out on it. Right? A lot of you are just oh, you know what? Maybe it was this. Maybe they didn't mean this. Nah, my true divine feminines out there, you guys are swift on your intuition and you're not going to let anybody roll one over your head, right? It's time to call your masculines out on their bullshit, right? So when you guys get those fake calls, those fake numbers, don't even pick up. Don't even text back in like a cheeky way, like I know it's you or blah, blah. Just cut it off, man. Call them out on their bullshit. Listen, like, stop. Okay? Don't. Hey, when you think about doing this, don't. Right? I feel like many of you need to get into that place to watch the connection shift in a sense. Otherwise, you guys are going to keep going through these cycles where you guys, you bond and then separation happens. And then when you come back, oftentimes it's usually the divine feminine that's wanting to plant new seeds. But you're too afraid because you don't want them to ghost again, right? So many of you are afraid to call people out on their bullshit, and this goes deep into your twin flame lesson as well. A lot of the times your masculine shows up because when you do it with them, all of a sudden you feel the courage to start doing it with other people in your life. Okay? And people will know, they can't they can't just try to slide one in, right? Without you noticing, right? It's like the comment that was left reminds me of like that friend, right? That friend that you guys might have in your life, right? And you get your new haircut and you're showing it off and you're feeling all nice and confident. And they're like, oh my God, it looks so nice. I think this part here, it might be cut like a little uneven. But yeah, it looks great. You look nice. Pay attention to people like that in your life, okay? People who, they do the sandwich effect, right? They butter you up and then slide something in there that's, they try to be a little bit, they try to cut you a little bit, but then they'll butter you up at the end. Pay attention to stuff like that happening, including conversation with your divine masculines, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get a message on the feminine's energy. Oh, that one fell right over. The reason I want to do the feminine's energy first with this card is because I want to try to confirm, what energy the divine feminines are in, and maybe give you guys the best course of action right now if this is happening to you. All right, so we have the Knight of Pentacles. Ground yourself, all right? You know what you know. The Knight of Pentacles for me is somebody who is, they're just beginning that journey to move towards the King energy of getting the knowledge, right? Like seeing through the veils, right? Many of you are starting to tap into that. The Pentacle itself is about grounding. You're being provided with all of the tools necessary to call people out. Don't be in fear. That's why I don't care about followers. You guys want to unsubscribe, and I'm sorry to be so aggressive with this reading, but I feel like it's been a long time coming for many of you who just need to kind of lash out. Like for me, oftentimes people, they get it twisted because they think I have a voice of a kid, or I might be younger than I am. So they'll try to slide one over on me, and that's why I gotta hit you, right? That's why I gotta hit it like that, because I'm not one to be taken advantage of. I don't care how sweet and nice my voice sounds, right? I don't care how much I can cuddle and kitty cat with Mega. I don't play in no bullshit, right? Because I'm always on my bullshit. So the Knight of Pentacles is about you guys really truly stepping into that energy of being able to ground yourself, firmly plant yourself into the ground. The Knight of Pentacles too reminds me of a very fixed energy. I think that many of you are really charging in full speed into your twin flame connection right now, because a lot of you are going to get this reading and you're going to go, aha, that's what's been missing, is me having a backbone in this connection. And many of you don't have that backbone because, again, when you're the feminine, it's you so want to spread that feeling over to your masculine, that it's hey, we're twin flames. It's a beautiful, feeling, but it's you can't be afraid of them running when many of you are hey, I don't want this. The way things are, I don't want this. If you're in a karmic situation, go be there then. Many of you are scared to do that, so you stay in the dark and you go through these karmic cycles, and it hurts, right? It hurts when you guys think that you're right there, and then boom, they go off to the karmic, right? Sharing all your beautiful energy that you gave them, right? Throwing it all on the karmic situation, right? And it hurts. Eventually they will get their karma for repeating those cycles. And trust me, guys, I'm speaking from experience. When your masculine comes in and they shower the karmic with your energy, the aftermath of you disappearing, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's the karmics end up looking like a flat tire, and so do your masculines, because then your energy is not there fueling it, right? So you guys have to get into this energy, charge off in a different direction that helps you to feel more grounded, starting to work on your abundance. Like if many of you are just like, oh my God, like I'm afraid to bring up this conversation with them, bring it up. And then what'll end up happening is, yeah, they'll go ahead and ghost, and they'll try to gaslight you. Oh, it's not like that. That's not what I meant. Blah, 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 blah. If you guys know your intuition is on point, don't let anybody try to get in there, right? And try to convince you that, oh, maybe you're thinking this or maybe you're thinking that. Don't let people gaslight you. If you know what you know, and if you guys can read energy, you just know what you know, right? And, many of you are like, oh, this person didn't mean any harm. It's all love. Guys, if I could pick up messages from your Divine Masculine collective and that clicks with you, what makes you think I'm not going to read between the lines when somebody tries to slight me? You know what I mean? So if you guys are wondering, like, what do I do? How do I get out of this energy? It's moving towards grounding yourself, creating more abundance for yourself. Like many of you, you can tend to feel a sense of lack in your twin flame connection, especially if there's like third parties involved. And it's because somehow you're waiting for this Divine Masculine to come rescue you, right? You're waiting for them to choose you in a sense. The Knight of Pentacles is about choosing yourself and charging forward to create stability for you without needing this Divine Masculine who at the end of the day, they're putting you guys through cycle after cycle after cycle. The lesson is not waiting for them to change. The lesson is to create that change within yourself. And it's going to start with the Knight of Pentacles energy, becoming independent, right? Making your own money, having a side hustle, starting to get serious about organizing your home, your space, your image. Many of us, before we step into this energy, it can feel like the page, which is like, man, I need to be like more focused. I need to be more disciplined. I need to be more organized. Because when you guys go through cycles with your masculine and like, let's say they return back to a karmic situation, sharing all of that beautiful energy from the feminine, the vibe you guys get after is like when you look around you, everything feels like lack. Like you start almost like getting like sick with like your environment. It's like all of a sudden your home looks dirty. It just doesn't look as organized as you want it to be. You're not making as much money as you need to be. You're unhappy in your own karmic situation and you don't know how to get out of that. All of these things start coming up. So make sure you guys are calling people out on their bullshit. Sorry. So that, you're not having to go through these cycles like constantly. Okay. We have the Fool card as well coming through for the Divine Feminine, along with the, oh, that's beautiful, the Seven of Wands, okay? Because the Seven of Wands for me is all about like building. Like you guys are definitely having to, take your energy and focus away and get that like passion back into your life, right? That fire back into your life. Somebody that says, listen, I ain't got no time for no bullshit. Like, I know what you're doing. We've been through this dance many times before, and now it's time for many of you to kind of step off the cliff a little bit and take a chance on that. Okay, because the Fool for me is all about like just venturing off into the unknown, and the unknown for many of you is like calling your masculine on their bullshit. But a lot of you are afraid. You're afraid it's going to mean that there's going to be an ending. But I promise you guys, like, it's only going to mean just even greater lessons unfolding, more layers peeling away from you guys. You'll become more stronger, more resilient, more resistant. You'll be able to also like shed things from your aura as well. So that way you guys can really get those deeper levels of intuition. Okay, you could see through things. And I'm also feeling too, like a lot of your masculines are kind of terrified to come near you right now. A lot of people, you guys are going to start noticing, a lot of people are going to second guess coming towards you guys with some bullshit. Okay, yeah, Divine Feminine, hell yes. Okay, it's time for you guys to bring that fire and realize that sometimes, that passion within the Divine Feminine, I'm feeling like Mother Kali energy, where it's like, don't make her angry or else all hell breaks loose. Because it's like, not even Shiva could have helped her anger. He had to literally sacrifice himself, or make her think that he was sacrificing himself for her to finally stop. But I feel like many of you maybe need Mother Kali's energy for you. A nice mantra is Jai Ma Kali, so you can sit down and meditate and just constantly repeat it, Jai Ma Kali, Jai Ma Kali, Jai Ma Kali, over and over and over again, and invite her energy into your life. And she's the mother. She's the most compassionate mother. that you could ever call upon, because she sees everything within you as beautiful, even your flaws, even the deepest, darkest parts of you that you're ashamed of and embarrassed of. She embraces all of it. But she also helps you to fight off those demons that, they take a hold of you, right? It could be, again, this inability to have that backbone and stand up for yourself. She'll give you that energy, Divine Feminine, okay? Let's go ahead and find out what the masculines are up to right now. What are they working on in the background if the feminine's in this energy? Okay, so we have release. I feel like it's releasing a lot of their own toxic ways, and what's going to end up happening is it's going to take this Divine Feminine to get into this Kali energy of creating these endings so that new beginnings can occur. But the key is in your hand here, Divine Feminine. You guys have to kind of break out of this whole just like this passive energy, right? Like if somebody tries to cut you, oh, okay, they probably didn't mean it that way. Like, nah, like if you guys feel somebody's bullshit, like tell them straight up, who you think you talking to like that, right? I'm not your friend, I'm not your kid. Who you talking to like that, right? Don't be afraid to say things like that. And believe me, these lessons are definitely related to your masculine, because once you guys do it with your Divine Masculines, you're going to feel the courage to do it and recognize it with a lot of other people in your lives. It's going to be coworkers. Yeah, y'all are going to be busting up in the workplace, putting your coworkers in their place from a side, putting family members in their place from a side, friends, again, like that friend, oh, your haircut looks nice, but it looks a little bit uneven on that side, like pay attention to people who try to, again, sandwich effect, right? But yeah, like definitely take a hold of these lessons, guys, because I'm feeling something big coming for many of you, where it's like a big shift and a big change, a lot of empowerment for the feminines. Okay, so we have let go of the past, an ending. I told you guys, an ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. Yeah, they know you're moving on, Divine Feminine. This is your masculine's energy, okay? Their nervousness is about the feminines going through that release. Many of you are finding it within you to say goodbye to the old, because I'm not afraid anymore. Like, I know that by saying goodbye, there's going to be a new opportunity that's coming in for me. For a lot of you right now, it's going to put your twin flame connection on a pause. And a lot of you guys are headed towards great abundance, stuff that you need to take care of first before you can even think about union, right? If you have it backwards, where it's like all you can think about is union, but you're letting your masculine fucking come in and out, go back to third party situation, like call them out on that bullshit. Don't be a part of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, go cold turkey. You don't owe anybody any explanation as to why it is you block them or delete them. Like, if you guys need your space, you need your space, but yeah, like make way for new opportunities by letting go of like the old version of you that is too afraid to kind of bust out and break out and be this beautiful, passionate feminine that's aching to come out. For many of you, I'm sensing this beautiful shift, and then what's going to end up happening is that it's going to help make your Divine Masculines a lot more assertive and mature, and also kind of like the King of Pentacles energy, right? Like we have the Knight coming out. I feel like the King of Pentacles, very trustworthy, very reliable, someone you can count on. But it's not going to come unless you guys can step into that energy of like not taking any bullshit, right? Because then it puts you in a position where you're like, listen, like, I don't bullshit in that stuff. Like, I don't play. Like, I'm not going to be a third party. I'm not going to tolerate your standard of what it means to interact with me. Like, I have standards, and I hold myself to a high expectation. Therefore, anybody else coming into my life or interacting with me, I hold them to a high expectation as well, including the way you interact with me, the way you speak to me, right? The level of like respect is like a big thing, guys, and just make sure that you guys are paying attention, like with your twin flame connections as well. Like, how big is respect, especially energy coming from your Divine Masculines? Like, how does that look like in the connection? Okay, because it'll tell you guys a lot, and again, it'll give you the courage to get that backbone, say what you guys need to say, and also have the courage to accept that separation like a notch under your belt, right? It's not going to be painful. You guys are going to be like, hell yes. All right, so I hope this reading helps in some way. I love you guys, and again, for those of you who truly know me, like, I really appreciate you guys coming out and supporting me, and those of you who personally reached out by email, and I just thank you guys so much. And for those of you who have booked personal readings with me on Wizio. Thank you so much. I enjoyed working on them within the last few days, and I want to thank you guys for leaving the reviews that you did. You guys know who you are. But anyways, guys, I love you. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next reading, okay? All right. Bye, guys.